You've been asking me if I'm going to see David Gilmour on the current tour. In this video, I'm going to explain why I'm not going. So stick around. Hi guys, my name is Björn and welcome to gilmourish. By the time I'm recording this video, David Gilmour has already done a few shows in Rome. And I've watched some of the YouTube clips and I've talked to many of you who's been there, and you've been kind in sharing clips and photos and your own experience from going to the show, so thank you for that. And my impression from looking at the YouTube clips is that it's a magnificent show. He's pulling out all the Floyd tricks, but it's also a much more intimate setting than on the previous tour. He's using the big screen, of course, and there's lots of smoke and beautiful lights and flash pots and everything, but it's a more intimate setting with the choir girls and his daughter, obviously, which is very moving to see her up on the stage and the communication she and David has. And I really enjoy the band as well. It seems to be a very organic band, much more so than on the last tour, which sort of included a lot of high-end musicians. Obviously there's Guy Pratt, who's essential to the whole sound, and I'm sure very important for David as well. The set list is okay. There's a lot of solo stuff, and David has also commented in recent interviews that he wants to do more of his solo stuff and less of the Roger Waters era Pink Floyd, which I can understand. I'm sure that for him it's a way to distance him from Roger Waters and all the stuff that's going on between those two. I'm not going to go into that here, but I'm sure it's also about him trying to distance himself from his past and Pink Floyd, playing the songs that he wants to play rather than picking the songs that people expect him to play, which is a bold move, I think. But obviously you have Wish You Were Here, you have Comfortably Numb. I'm a bit surprised that he didn't pull out On an Island, the title track from the 2006 album. My impression is that that particular song has sort of become a David Gilmour classic, if you will, and one that certainly fits the live format. And I'm also surprised that he's not doing Shine on a Crazy Diamond, which is very much his own song. Of course, the setlist can change, and I'm sure he's going to tweak it a bit for the American market. A fun surprise is the inclusion of Marooned and A Great Day for Freedom. I've never been a huge fan of Marooned, but A Great Day for Freedom is a great song, one of my favorites from the Division Bell album, and also a song that fits David's solo catalog very well, I think. The overall performance is good. Again, the band sounds great, and you have the intimate setting. They've done a few changes to the song's arrangements, and I think the overall sound on the stage is very true to the originals, although with a bit of changes. David's playing is overall good, I think. He's certainly got the chops still, and some of his solo work is really good. However, I do see him struggle a bit, which is kind of expected as well, going back to the 2006 tour and Rattle That Lock. I remember seeing the first shows on that tour and some of the later ones. There was a huge difference. So despite them having spent quite a lot of time rehearsing, he seems to need a few shows to really get into it. Like I said in my review of the Lucky and Strange album, there's even some of the older songs seems to have more noodling rather than him copying the album version or doing the solos that we are used to from the live versions as well. It's difficult to judge the tones based on YouTube clips alone, but from what I can hear, he seems to be true to the original album versions and how he's done it on the last couple of tours. One thing that I think is really cool is that he brought the Yamaha rotating speaker cabinet on the tour. He used it on the album, and this is of course the cabinet that he used on the Animals album and tour, the Wall album and tour, and also the Final Cut album. When I hear it, it goes right back to my favorite tones. So it's great fun hearing it and seeing it up on the stage, and it really makes a difference. It might be difficult to hear, but you can hear this swirling sound on the tones. That's the Yamaha, and I'm sure standing in front of him and listening to the sound, it must be a really cool experience, hearing that rotary and the ambience it creates. My impressions and judgment on the performances are of course based on YouTube clips, so I wasn't there. I haven't experienced the atmosphere and the interaction between the audience and the band and vice versa. But what I can say is that I'm a bit concerned about his vocals. He had issues on the last tour, and he seems to be struggling even more now, at least from what I can hear. And what really concerns me is that he doesn't seem to reflect on it himself. He's closing in on 80, so you can't expect him to hit the high notes anymore. And you can hear it on songs like Time, where he's changing the vocal arrangements, but he seemed to be starting high and then he's suddenly drops, which to me sounds like he's trying and not having reflected upon, okay, I can't do this anymore, I need to change the arrangements. Which might seem harsh, but again, I think he should have done more to cope with the fact that he doesn't have that voice anymore, which is okay. And to try to explain why I'm not going to these shows, that's one of the reasons. I've been incredibly lucky. I saw Pink Floyd on the '94 Division Bell tour here in Oslo, Norway. I saw the Live 8 reunion. I saw David on the acoustic meltdown shows. I traveled around Europe following him on on an island tour in 2006. I saw a handful of shows on the Rattle at Lock tour, and I'm not trying to brag, but what I'm saying is I think I'm satisfied. That's enough for me. And also considering that I, based on the clips that I've seen with him struggling a bit, I'm afraid that I'm going to walk away a bit disappointed, and I don't need that. I've seen and experienced so many beautiful moments with David and his playing and the music, and although I'm sure that everyone who's attended these shows and will be attending the shows will have a great time. I'm not sitting here trying to persuade you not to go to the shows, but for me there's no real interest in seeing him anymore. I have my memories, and I have great fun looking at the clips and hearing from you guys. One thing that I do miss, which is a huge part of going to shows and traveling around for me, is traveling with my friends. All of the shows that I've seen with Pink Floyd and David Gilmour, I've seen together with great friends. We have these experiences together, and I've said hi to many of you, and I've met so many great people and shared the experience, which I'm certainly missing right now. I wish I was there to be able to see these shows together with you. And I'm sure I'm going to regret my decision a bit when he's done the last shows, but I'm pretty satisfied with the decision I've made, and if we're lucky, we get another album. He's already been talking about going into the studio later this year, early next year, with the same band, and obviously he has more material and wants to write more material as well. So there you have it. Again, I would love to hear from you. Have you seen him? Are you going to see him? If not, why? Be sure to leave me a comment, and also, if you haven't already, head on over to gilmourish.com and check out the brand new gear guide for Luck and Strange. I've tried my best to list all the guitars, amps and pedals used on the album recording sessions, and also I've added what we know by now from the tour, and obviously I'm going to update the guide as the tour progress. Okay, I'll see you soon.